Mitch and Charlie, thank you both for joining us.
You're very welcome.
You're very welcome.
Let me start first with you, Mitch. When do you remember arriving in Aruba in 2005?
Yes. Wednesday morning, about 11 o'clock.
What did you do when you got there, Mitch? What was the day like?
First thing we did was went straight to the hotel to meet Jug and Beth. And we got there, met them, and then the first person we talked to was the chief of police. I think his name was Jan van der Straten.
Charlie, were you with Mitch this whole time? Did you arrive with him?
I sure did. I was
Okay.
with him the whole time.
All right. After you met with van der Sloot, did there come a time when you went to the international school? I mean van der Straten, I'm sorry, van der Straten.
Yes, Greta. We actually went there the next day.
Why did you go to that school?
Well, we were looking for Uran. We wanted to talk to him and try to find out where he went, what school he attended, and just helping any way that we possibly could to find Natalie.
Mitch, when you got to the school, did you talk to anybody?
Yes, we were told that there was a school that he went to, and we went to that school, and they said, no, he's not here. We had carried some of the posters that we had that said missing with Natalie's photograph on it to pass out to try to aid in the search for her. And the chief of the school, he was a headmaster there, said he doesn't go to school here, and if you would, please don't put any more of this around my school. And so we said, certainly, we won't do that. On leaving, we went across the street and got in the car, and he came across the street. He actually jaywalked, and he said, I would want my name used or to say that I told you this, but he goes to the international school, and he's there now, and I understand he's sleeping over there, possibly in a sleeping bag.
Who told you this?
So we went to the international school straight from there.
Okay, so
the headmaster at one of the other schools.
Okay, so Charlie, you then went to the international school. What happened when you got there?
When we got there, we met the headmaster of the international school, myself and a couple other friends that were with us, and Mitch and another friend stayed out in the lobby, and we spoke with the headmaster, asking if he knew the whereabouts of Uran or anything about Natalie's disappearance.
What did he tell you, Charlie?
He told us some quite interesting facts, as a matter of fact, that Paulus and Uran had been there a day or two before, that Paulus was trying to explain for his son that what had happened, and then he started to explain that his son had taken Natalie out to the lighthouse, that she wanted to see sharks, and that at some point she had fallen, and he was just volunteering information, but also saying what a good boy Uran was, and how the father was about to be a judge, and that he was a very upstanding citizen of Aruba, and it was really apparent to us that he was doing the best he could to cover for him.
Mitch, what was your impression of the headmaster? Did you get the sense that he was straight talking, or were you suspicious of him?
I was very suspicious because the first thing he said was she may have drowned, and the way these currents are, they would carry her out to sea. You would never find the body. He mentioned that the night that she went missing, probably they couldn't tell she came back to the hotel because the cameras were not working. How would he know these things unless he was coached into it? And I was suspicious of what he had to say because from the day one, this thing appeared to be cover-up. The police seemed to be, their main objective was to protect Uran, and the heck with finding Natalie.
Why do you say that, Mitch?
The Van der Straten told us, he said, I don't think I could arrest my best friend's son. I'm his godfather, and I honestly don't think that he's guilty. He is a witness. And I said, well, you know, it's kind of strange. That's the last person that saw her. And he said, well, we're working on another angle on that. And that angle was the two black men that were security guards. They were going to try to blame it on them. I felt like it from day one. We could tell that they didn't want us there. They were very uncomfortable with us being around them because they were trying to cover it up.
Is there anybody else in the investigation that you met that you have a thought about whether the person was, doing his job or her job or not, or are you suspicious of?
One of the things that was really strange about it, Greta, to me, was we had a meeting with them, and we had 25 questions to ask them. They wouldn't answer a single one of them.
Who's they?
And
The police? Do you mean by the police?
Well, this is really the odd thing. The police are supposed to be investigating Natalie's disappearance, but they told us in the meeting that the investigation, the people in charge of it, was the Aruban Tourism Department, which I thought was a little bit strange. And it appeared to me that they weren't trying to investigate anything. It was damage control. They were worried about tourism, not finding Natalie.
Mitch, this is the first time I'm hearing that the tourism was involved, and that's particularly interesting to me. Did they say anything else about the tourism division at any time to either one of you?
All they would tell us was every question we asked, we cannot answer that question. If we had anything to give them in the form of any sort of evidence, it disappeared. And you could ask what happened, they wouldn't tell you.
11 p.m. Eastern Time with Bill, and up next, the Aruban prosecutor gets pressure from all angles. Wait until you hear what the Aruban Justice Minister is now saying about this case. This might surprise you. And then listen to this. According to our State Department, this past year, more than 800,000 women and children were victims of cross-border human trafficking. And the Caribbean-Venezuela corridor is a hot spot for it. How bad is it? Well, you will find out directly from the ambassador at our State Department, whose job it is to monitor and fight this growing crisis of human trafficking. There's news in Aruba. The Aruban Justice Minister holds a press conference about the disappearance of Natalie Holloway. And according to translations provided to On the Record, the Justice Minister says this unsolved case is a stain on Aruba, and he wants the prosecutor's office to put special attention on the case. Your panel is back. And panel, during the first segment, I received an email from Dave Holloway, who we all know is the father of Natalie Holloway, and I just want to read it on the air. This is what I just got from Dave Holloway. It says, "I'm greatly disturbed that Hans Moss," that's the prosecutor, "and the Aruban investigation team has not requested information that you have obtained regarding the case of my daughter, Natalie Holloway. If the Aruban investigative team wanted to solve this case, it would appear to me they would want to see any and all leads and information. A telephone call to the local FBI attaché office would suffice to obtain this information. Obviously, that would be too simple." Signed, Dave Holloway. And my offer remains open to the Aruban prosecutor. They can have what we have, and they can investigate it. We'll give them numbers for wire transfers. We'll give them the chip. They can investigate the whole works. All right, now, the second thing is the Minister of Justice. Apparently, we're getting some traction in Aruba. And in fact, you can see this article that's causing some heat down in Aruba. This is written in the local dialect. I've underlined all the places where my name is. We've had it translated. Incidentally, even Governor Palin made the article. We don't know exactly what, but anyway, we know that staying on Aruba, Ted. That's what the Minister of Justice is saying.
Greta, I have to absolutely agree. This case has been going on too long, and the sad commentary is the manner in which it was investigated. As we know, this case initially started off with them accusing two black guys of actually having something to do with the disappearance of Natalie Holloway. And we had Dom Pegg, who's no longer with the operation. Now we've got a new prosecutor. Nobody's doing anything. And you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't care if we believe or disbelieve this rotten kid. The fact about it is everything needs to be followed up on.
Jim, the fact that the Minister of Justice said it seems at least we're getting a little traction has made the newspaper down there, and that they're calling it a stain on Aruba, and that maybe this Minister of Justice will get this prosecutor, Hans Moss, to get to contact us. So I'll give he can contact us. We'll give him everything. Get off the
before I respond, would you just clarify that since you aired this and since you made the offer, Hans Moss has never said he wants to see what we have?
He has said he has been absolutely silent, and he knows how to reach me. Believe me, he knows how to reach me.
Then the Minister of Justice should stop holding press conferences and have this man fired. I had an open mind about this guy and was hoping it was a fresh start. But if anybody has information about a crime and the prosecutor doesn't pick up the phone and say, "I'd love to see it, when can I meet you?" and I know you offered to meet him in Miami, he should be fired, period.
Bernie?
Why is the Minister of Justice, to pick up on Jim's point, communicating with the prosecutor through the newspaper? Just call the guy up or email him and say, listen, either open an investigation, whatever Greta has, take a look at. For all we know, it's completely unreliable, or it's reliable. But just look at it, give us thumbs up and thumbs down, or you're out on your backside tomorrow. I don't understand it.
You know, I mean, it's bad enough that, but what I don't get is the Dutch. I mean, Holland, what in the world is Holland doing sitting there, you know, 3,000 miles northeast, just sitting up there with its relationship with Aruba? I guess it's I don't know if it's a protectorate or whatever it is. But what is Holland? I mean, Holland, one of our best allies. This is American woman missing, and their prosecutor won't even look at the information to prove it or disprove it.
It's an embarrassment. It is, and it's sad. I'm hoping that something now will come from this, Greta. And I got to tell you, you've done a remarkable job of staying on this, and I think it should be.
I don't know if we're on the right path, but I do know one thing.
It's a path.
At least we are trying, and that is a lot more than I can say. You know, at least Fox News Channel is trying. I don't know if this is the right answer, but you know what? We're not just sitting there soaking in the sun rays. Anyway.
How sad. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
How sad that the Holloway family has to rely upon a TV anchor who's a former defense attorney and not the prosecutor to investigate the crime. How crazy is that?
Panel, thank you.